boldly brush wax resist on this, right? And then peel this off, and then you're back to the base. You're back to bare clay. And because you're using wax resist, you can get really those articulate eyes. You could just brush glaze in there, but it might be a little blurry. So if you want that cut articulate line, that's how you do that. So, okay, I'm going to stop there because we're going further than you need to right now. So right now, I want you to just like get familiar mixing these up. Don't go more than 2 layers. If you want to layer up different glazes and test that out, that's totally fine. But don't do like 4. Do 2.
Mixing colors, and is that allowed? Like mixing 2 different types of glazes or whatever.
So if you want, right now, no. Let's get established.
Okay.
Moving forward, I should say 2. You're gonna notice there's tiles like these as well. This was a stain. Well, this is technically a slip, but this was mostly just an iron stain. These colors right here, those are what are called underglazes. These are also just commercial colored slips. Like we're not mixing them from iron or chrome or like earth metals. These are synthetically made, and we buy them, and we have for more or less the gamut of colors, and they live in those little lockers down there on the ground. If you aren't finding the color you want, go in that room behind the door. There's a whole shelf, and you'll notice all the different underglazes. But don't open one until you can't find the other one that's open, okay? Because they can dry out and they can get gross. And a very important thing, I think I mentioned this, maybe I haven't yet. We're on a bad tear of mixing these things up without the lids on, and just like you'll notice like on the sides of some of these tables, just like a big swath of blue or something like that. Remember to tighten this and still hold your a couple fingers over these when you shake them up, okay?
Do you use this the same way as regular glazes?
These you're gonna want to brush on.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. And you can do under, over. These are magic. You can put them on leather hard clay. You can put them on bisque clay. You can put them on top of glazes, under glazes. You can put these like any state, okay? Just 1 layer though. You don't need to layer these up in multiple layers. They're intense. Some of the colors at the temperature we're going to will burn out. The red doesn't, I know. I don't know off the top of my head all of them, but some of them, like some of the blues and purples, will burn out. But we just we're experimenting right now. So experiment, just keep it to 1 or 2 layers, and I'd love to shoot for Wednesday, but I think Friday is realistic by the end of class, okay? Then we'll just stay late, load the kiln, and either fire over the weekend or fire on Monday. Fun?
If you put wax resist on the like raw piece and then fired it, there's still kind of like a residue.
Well,
Will that affect the glazing process?
it depends. If there's like an impurity in the wax, maybe, but technically it should just burn off. But what happens like with this, if you like dip it in the glaze, it does take, like if I touch this right now, it's still wet. Like it's stable, it's not coming off on my hands. But if I let a glaze like this sit, it gets this, because there's soda ash in it. Not all the glazes do this, but soda ash will kind of create a little fuzz on the surface. If I put wax resist on, those areas won't get the fuzz. So, which means it's a different composition of glaze. So you can get really subtle little lines because the soda ash isn't there. So, no. But technically it should just burn off. It gets crazy over here. Please be mindful of like works around you. Maz has been working over here. I might have this station bump over onto that station, and then I might even roll this one out. I am okay with you. We have lots of containers in that room. If you want to put glaze into the container and take it over to a table, that's fine with me. Just make sure it gets back in the bucket, and the right bucket, okay? Same with underglazes. If you want to take underglazes out of this over, like onto another table, just make sure they get back in there, because these are expensive. Like this right here, the red I think is $45 for this pint. So, and that, I mean, it is what it is, but it adds up. Okay, let's go from there. Can I get 2 or 3 volunteers to unload and reload? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, were you
Your
not?
timer went off, but I
Oh.
can help too.
Okay, perfect. So 3 is perfect, and I will mark that. I know you two have already done clay mixing, but have you done clay mixing already too? Okay,
I
but
helped a bit
you
with
get-
clay mixing, but
yeah, you did. But you all get points for that. This too. All right.
Should we go down and grab?
Yeah, not everything is out right now. Why don't you give us 10 minutes to get everything out of the kiln? If you are still making stuff, that's okay. Just it might not get in the kiln this round, but finish stuff up by all means if you haven't. But yeah, be mindful. The room's getting full. Move slowly. If you have finished pieces, get them down there. They're much safer down there than in here. Okay. I'll stop there. Connor, you're gonna need to move that stuff too, because they're gonna wanna use that table for glazing.
Did you want to stop?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Ashley.